BoardGameSwede, and today we're playing Forbidden Island. So I wanted to play this on the normal difficulty here, because it's only the third time I've played it, and so far I've only lost. We did come close both times, but didn't win. So let's try it on normal. So the goal of the game is to I'm gonna play as three players. So we are explorers that's coming to find treasures on this forbidden island. The thing is, though, that the island is cursed, and from the moment we will set foot on it, it will start to sink, and the treasures might sink if we're not careful, and our escape route might sink as well. So it's something we have to look out for. So these four are the treasures we can find, and all of them have two corresponding tiles. So for instance, this flame thing here, flame crystal, has the Cave of Embers and the Cave of Shadow. So we can only get that treasure in one of those two locations. So if we lose both of them before we have found the treasure, the game is lost, because we simply cannot complete our mission. And after we've collected all four of them, all of us have to end up here on Fool's Landing, and when we're here we have to use one of these helicopter cards and escape. So if we lose Fool's Landing, we can't escape, and we're also defeated. And if someone drowns or dies, we are also defeated. And that can happen if, let's say, these two, or rather, if these three disappear, and you're on this tile and it also disappears, you have no place to escape, so you will drown. So I've randomly shuffled all of this up, and so a turn works like this. All of the players get 3 actions each, and those actions are: you can either move to an adjacent space, not diagonal, if you're not some special player here. So you can move this way or this way, and every movement costs 1 action. You can also choose to shore up a tile. So let's say this was flooded. If you stand on it or on a tile next to it, you can shore it up, so that way it's not flooded anymore. You can also, if you're on the same space as someone else, you can give them one of your treasure cards. That costs an action. And the last thing you can do is, if you collect 4 treasure cards with the same symbol, and you're on one of those tiles that corresponds to that symbol, you can trade those 4 in to actually find the treasure. So that's what we have to do. So on your turn, you're going to take your 3 actions, then you're going to draw 2 treasure cards, then discard down to 5 if you have more than 5. Then after that, we're going to draw flood cards, which is from this island deck, and it will show which tiles will be flooded and so on. So these are the treasure cards. Here are 2 examples of the treasure cards we need to find. So we need 4 of these to find the water treasure here, and we have to discard 4 of those on either the Tidal Palace or the Coral Palace. And then we have sandbags. We can use these to shore up a tile anywhere on the board. You don't have to be close to it or anything. It's just a free action basically if you use this card. Then we have the helicopter lift. You can move 1 or more players from one space to another, anywhere, and it's a free action. And when you escape this island, you also, one of the players have to have one of these cards, and if they don't, well, we can't escape, so we will lose. And the worst card you can draw is Water's Rise, and when this card is drawn, we will increase the water level, so you have to draw more cards from this island deck. And also the discarded cards will be shuffled and then they will be put on top, a la Pandemic. And that's about it. So I will shuffle these cards and we'll be right back. Okay, now everything's shuffled and I'm gonna randomly select which 3 players I'm gonna use. So we have the Messenger, the Diver, the Explorer, the Pilot, and the Navigator, and the Engineer. So this will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I will roll the die to draw 3 of them. First we got number 4, which is the Pilot. Then we have number 2, which is the Diver. And number 5, which is the Navigator. So these 3 will be removed. And their pawns will be removed as well. Okay, so the 3 players I will play with, the Pilot, his special ability is once per turn, fly to any tile on the island for 1 action, so he can move around pretty fast. Then we have the Diver, move through 1 or more adjacent flooded and or missing tiles for 1 action, so you must end your turn on a tile though. But you can basically just swim forever, almost, at least. And then we have the Navigator, and his special ability is that you can move another player up to 2 adjacent tiles away for 1 action. So let's say we can move 1 person from this space to this space and so on. So these 3 will start on their starting locations. So the blue will be at Fool's Landing, the black will be at the Iron Gate, and the yellow will be at the Gold Gate. So everyone will get 2 of these treasure cards to start with. The Pilot has 1 wind card and 1 water card. The Diver has an earth card and a helicopter card. The Navigator gets a wind card and a Water's Rise, which he cannot get right now. So he'll get a water card, and we'll shuffle the rest again. Great. So the Pilot will start. So we'll just jump right into this. And well, we have 2. They start right next to each other. Or sorry, first we have to flood 6 of the tiles. So 6 of them are flooded from the beginning. So we have a Cave of Shadows, which is down here. We have Cave of Embers, which is terrible because we don't want 2 of them for the same symbol to be flooded. And we have the Coral Palace, which is down here. We have the Dunes of Deception, which is down here. We have the Whispering Garden, which is also down here. And finally we have Temple of the Sun. So that was pretty terrible actually. All of the locations that were flooded contained treasures except for the Dunes of Deception. So we definitely have to shore things up so not to lose them. So it's the Pilot first. I think for 1 action he will fly to the Cliffs of Abandon. Second action will be to shore up the Tidal Palace. His third action will be to shore up the Cave of Shadows. And that's his turn. So now we will draw 2 treasure cards. We have another water card and a flame card. So that's pretty good, I think. Then we have to flood 2 more tiles. So we have Twilight Hollow, which is down here, and also Fool's Landing, which isn't good. Wow, what a terrible starting position we have here. So it's the Dire next. I think he will use this helicopter lift right away to fly to the Temple of the Moon. It's a free action. Then he will shore up Fool's Landing for 1 action. Move to the Twilight Hollow for a 2nd action and shore up the Whispering Garden for his 3rd action. Then he will draw 2 cards. So we got another Earth card and another helicopter card, so that worked out well. Then we have to flood 2 more tiles. We have Temple of the Moon. And we have the Silver Gate, which is right here. So next we have the Navigator. And well, it's pretty... I don't know what to do actually. Well, first of all, he will move to the Bronze Gate and shore up the Temple of the Moon. That's 2 actions. And his 3rd action will be to move to the Chaos Shadows, I think. Or, yeah, let's do that. Then he will draw 2 treasure cards. We got a flame card. And we got a Water's Rise, which is not good at all. So now the water level will rise. So now we will have to draw 3 of the flooded, or from the island deck, 3 cards here to flood tiles with. Then we will take all of these discarded island cards and shuffle them. Whoops. And then we will put them on top here. And then we will draw 3 island cards this turn. So we have the Silver Gate. So that is already flooded, and that means it will sink. So now it's removed from the game. And we have the Dunes of Deception, which will also sink. And the 3rd and final one is the Fool's Landing, so it will be flooded. Then we have the Pilot again. So for his first action, he will fly to to the Temple of the Moon, and he will shore up Fool's Landing. Then he will move to the Twilight Hollow. Right. Draw 2 more treasure cards, another flame card, and a helicopter card. So you can actually use these special cards right away before you have to discard them, so not to waste them. So I guess I will move. Yeah, I will use it right away, so I will move. I will move the yellow player down here as well, I think. Yeah, let's do that. And then we will flood 3 more tiles. So we have the Twilight Hollow, which they're all standing on. So that will sink. So now they all escape to one adjacent tile. And and I guess we will put them or like that. Yeah. So that was the first card. Second card is the Temple of the Moon. So that is flooded. And lastly we have Coral Palace, which is over here. Okay. Next up it's the Diver. He will move to the Bronze Gate. Then he will shore up Temple of the Moon. And then he will move to the Gold Gate. And he'll draw 2 treasure cards. So we have another Water's Rise. And then we have a Flame card, so this will trigger. So remember, we have to increase the water level. It's still on 3 though, thankfully. Then we have to shuffle these cards. And well, we're basically going to draw all 3 of them again. So start with the Temple of the Moon, which will be flooded. Then we have Coral Palace, which will disappear. And finally we have Fool's Landing, which will be flooded. And that was the Diver's turn, so now it's the Navigator. Well, he will move 2 spaces over here and shore up Fool's Landing. That's basically everything he can do. Yeah. So then he will draw 2 treasure cards, and he got a Wind card, and the third Water's Rise, which will increase the water level yet again. Then we will shuffle these 2 cards, but not like it matters. We will put them on top. And then we will draw 3 cards. So we have Temple of the Moon, which will, whoops, disappear. We have Fool's Landing, which will be flooded. And then we have Cave of Shadows, which will be flooded. And I think we will stop it there for now. So thank you all so very much for watching, and have a good one.